The three NFL picks have been on fire over the past month. Indeed, we have posted a 7-4 record against the spread, ATS, during the past 4 weeks. That includes obtaining 2 wins and 1 loss last week. Let's keep crushing the bookies together, my friend. For week 16 in the NFL, I've got 3 official picks for you, including a couple that are rated 4 stars out of 5. As a bonus, I will also give you 3 unofficial picks, just for fun. As usual, the lines might have changed since the picks have been released. Buckle up, let's go! Pick number 1 is rated 4 stars out of 5 and it goes to the Denver Broncos straight up at the Los Angeles Rams. There is no debate about which of these two teams has the better defense. The edge definitely goes to Denver. They currently rank 3rd in the league in points allowed per game, compared to the number 18 spot for the Rams. As far as the offense goes, both clubs occupy the last 2 spots in terms of points scored per game. However, Denver's offense has shown some improvement of late. In fact, they put up 24 points on the board with Brett Rippon under center against the Cardinals, after scoring 28 against the Chiefs. In the Kansas City game, the Broncos trailed 27-0 but showed no quit before losing 34-28. They might have pulled off the big upset if Russell Wilson had not got hurt early in the 4th quarter. Wilson should be back as the starting QB this week, and he will be looking to build off this nice performance against the Chiefs. Both teams are eliminated from playoff contention, but to me, the Broncos are still fighting after 3 straight decent performances, if you include the 10-9 loss in Baltimore. Meanwhile, if not for the miraculous victory over the Raiders on Thursday Night Football in Week 14, Los Angeles would be going through an 8-game losing skid. They have not scored more than 23 points in any of those 8 matchups. Let's end this discussion by mentioning the fact that the Rams also lose 1 day of preparation after playing last Monday at Lambeau Field. So give me the Broncos to win. Pick number 2 is also rated 4 stars out of 5. Over 48 points in the New York Giants versus Minnesota Vikings game. First, the betting action suggests sharp action on the over. Based on numbers obtained from actionnetwork.com, 54% of bets on totals have gone on the over, while the total amount of money wagered has shown an 87 to 13% advantage on the over. That indicates that big bets were placed on the over. If you take a look at Minnesota's schedule, you will find out that more than 48 points have been scored in 9 of their past 12 games. In their last 29 games played on field turf, the over has posted a jaw-dropping 21-8 record. Things don't look as good if you focus on how games played out for New York. Most games ended with much less than 48 points scored, but we have seen an increase lately. If the total had been 48 in their last 5 games, the over would have gone 2-2-1, with both losses occurring in games against Washington, a team whose offense does not have much firepower while having a stout defense. That's a totally different profile from Minnesota, whose offense can score a boatload of points and whose defense is average at best. My NFL mathematical model projects a 60.3% chance of winning the bet on over 48 points. Over the past 23 years, this model has done a great job at predicting NFL totals, and my own personal analysis agrees, so I'm going to ride with the over. Pick number 3 is rated 3 stars out of 5. The Tampa Bay Bucs -3 points for the first half at the Arizona Cardinals. I shared this pick with my members on Patreon on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. At that moment, the line was Bucs -3 points at +100 odds for the first half. Now that Colt McCoy has been ruled out, the line moved to a number that varies between 3.5 and 5. Therefore, I am feeling great about the bet we took early this week. Following a double-digit home loss, Tampa owns a 10-2-1 record ATS. That's pretty convincing. Moreover, the motivation level will be 100 times higher for the Bucs. They must win this game in order to remain in first place of the NFC South Division, while the Cardinals cannot wait for the season to end. As mentioned earlier, Colt McCoy is out, which means Trace McSorley is in. In his career, he has thrown 1 TD pass versus 3 interceptions, while completing just 46% of his passes. A former 6th-round pick out of Penn State, he has looked awful. Facing a Tampa defense that could pressure him, I don't like his chances of doing well, especially in the first half where Tampa will be fired up after such a bad second half collapse against the Bengals last week. Last week, the Cardinals QBs threw 3 interceptions. Over the past several years, teams coming off a game in which they were the victim of at least 3 picks and that are now underdogs by 5.5 points or more have presented a 27-36 record ATS, a 43% winning rate. Arizona shows a 3-10 record ATS in their last 13 home games. They have also failed to cover the spread in each of their past 5 games in December, and they have scored an average of 15.5 points over their past 4 games. I expect Tampa to come out firing in the first half, which is why I am backing them to win this half by at least 3 points. For entertainment purposes, here are some leans, which means bets that I don't like enough to put money at risk, but that I still like. Lean number 1 goes to the New York Jets, -1 point against the Jaguars. The main reason behind this pick is the weather. We are expecting a ton of rain during the game, which gives a big edge to teams who prefer to run the ball and who have a solid defense. That fits New York's profile perfectly. Jacksonville is throwing the ball very well, especially with Trevor Lawrence tossing 14 TD passes versus just 1 pick over his past 6 games. But throwing the ball will be very hard to do in these conditions. The Jags also lost their starting left tackle Cam Robinson, which will hurt against such a solid Jets defense. When the temperature is below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, the Jags are 0-10 straight up and 1-9 ATS. Lean number 2 goes to the Chicago Bears, +9 points against the Bills. The weather might have a big impact on this game as well. This time it looks like there will be strong winds. That makes passing so much more difficult, which will create problems for Josh Allen and company, while the Bears will be happy to keep running the ball. Chicago will be at home for the 4th straight week, so they will be well rested. Since week 7, the Bears' offense ranks 11th in terms of the famous EPA statistic. Meanwhile, Buffalo's defense ranks 24th since week 9. They have clearly showed signs of decline. The Bears are 2-5 at home, but their worst defeat was a 9-point loss. They keep games tight in front of their home fans. This could be a sandwich game for Buffalo, coming off 3 games against divisional opponents and awaiting key matchups against the Bengals and the Pats. Lean number 3 goes to the 49ers -7 against the Commanders. Washington kept surprising us during an 8-game stretch in which they obtained a 6-1-1 record. However, last week's home loss against the Giants feels like it gave them a big blow to their confidence, and I could see them collapse from now on. They are facing a San Francisco defense that has not given up more than 275 yards in any of their past 7 games, which is mind-blowing. The Niners also benefit from 3 additional days of rest since they played last Thursday. Washington holds a 1-4-1 record ATS against teams with a winning record. The 49ers are 9-2 ATS at home. I am smelling a blowout. Would you like to receive all of my betting picks across all sports, including the lucrative NFL proposition bets? Simply join my Patreon page, whose link is provided below in the video's description. That being said, 11 of you can potentially win the $50 prize from last week's underdog contest. The 2 biggest underdogs to win straight up were the Jacksonville Jaguars against Dallas and the New York Giants in Washington. You can see on your screen the name of the 11 participants who picked those exact 2 teams. I wrote those names on pieces of paper. So let me show you quickly.
And then I will do a random draw. Alright, 3 more. Okay, so let's put them in a bag and then I will determine the winner.
Alright, so the winner of the $50 US prize for the Week 15 NFL Underdog Contest is Ant Plays. Congratulations, man! Contact me via email at winner@professormj.com to redeem your prize. Now go ahead and enter my Week 16 Underdog Contest by posting in the comments below which 2 teams will cause the biggest upsets. The official point spreads are on your screen right now. You cannot pick the Thursday night game. You must enter your picks by 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, not Sunday. And you cannot edit your comment at any moment after posting it. I will give you a bonus point if you include the word Christmas in your post. Best of luck to you, my friend. I'm Professor MJ, University Statistics Professor for 15 years. Subscribe now to the best sports betting show on YouTube.